and show you where I grew up, and it'll be so much fun. And we went down there, and then I remembered I didn't have any friends in high school. I forgot that part of it somehow. The whole experience made me, I don't know, it put me in a funny frame of mind, and I'm here to tell you, if you get that invitation, do not go to your high school reunion. It's not very much fun. It wasn't for me. I stood in a corner. As I said, I was reminded of my friendlessness and lack of popularity many years ago. And the old cliques immediately reestablished themselves. I'd see like those people standing together over there. Oh yeah, they used to go. And then people would come up to me and start talking. Every once in a while somebody come up, say, oh hey, how are you doing? What have you been up to? And I look at their faces and think like, who the heck is this I'm talking to? These people look so terrible, I gotta tell you. These people, I don't know what happened to them in their lives, but whatever it was terrible, you know? And it turned them into these hideous freaks, you know, and they come up, what happened to you? Who are you? You know, and you look down and try not to look at the name tag. And you think, oh man, you're a hideous monster. I don't know what I look like to these people, because I was looking this way out of my face at them. But they look terrible. And I started to get really depressed by the ravages and storms of life, you know, this kind of thing. But then this guy comes up with a spring in his step and a big grin. Theron, I think you've heard this story a time or two. Theron.
I've met Theron, yeah.
You met Theron.
Yes.
And he was shoeless like you were a second ago, right? He's the kind of guy that didn't wear shoes, like Shad here. Anyway, he came up and he said, hey, and I suddenly remembered, hey, you used to be my friend. I had a friend. You were it. And nobody liked us, and we went out in the woods by our experimental school in the woods and smoked dope and did Three Stooges routines and just like wasted time. And what the heck's been going on in your life? And he thought a minute, he said, nothing. Right. He says, nothing has been going on with you. He said, yeah, the last 35 years have been pretty eventless. He says, I never got married and I never got a job. I paint a house when I need a little money, and I still live in my parents' basement, and I still smoke a lot of dope, and yeah, nothing's really changed with me, he says. And I'm looking at this guy thinking, it's this odd because this is the happiest motherfucker I've ever seen in my life. Something is not making sense here, because I myself, like I got out of high school and I had a list of things I wanted to do, 6, 7 things. And they were like, you know, well, number one was get the hell out of here. Like I didn't want to stay over there in that part of the world. I want to go to the big city, so I went to New York City, and I thought, I'll make a splash up there. And then one by one, I pretty much ticked everything off the list. Like I married a beautiful woman, we had kids, they were healthy, they liked me, they'll speak to me. I made records with my name on them and started traveling around playing to very small groups of people and houses and so forth. That's great. That's great. It's a dream come true. And I did everything that I wanted to do in high school. This guy did nothing, and yet he was happier than me. So I don't know how to explain this, but I did get a little bit depressed by it, and I went home and thought about it, and so we're going to do this song, and that's all by way of saying that the character in this song is kind of on the fence. He's in that magical moment of time when you're 17, 18 years old, and things can fall this way or that. You still have a lot of freedom of choice, and the big choice is like leave home or stay home, you know. So this guy in the song can't quite make up his mind. He keeps thinking about leaving, and he never quite pulls the trigger. He's sort of like my friend, stays home smoking dope, living in his parents' house, and so forth. But it's also got, I don't know if anybody's from North Carolina. Is anybody from there? Or, well, back in the 70s, I don't know, there are a few specific things that pop up in here. And they're just like little scenic detail, I guess. One, Tommy Thompson pops up. He was in a band called the Red Clay Ramblers when I was young, and he was a super nice guy, and sort of an inspiration to guys like me that were thinking about going into acoustic music. So Tommy's in it, and a bunch of other things that aren't there anymore. This is called Fare Thee Well, Carolina Gals, and once again, thank you for listening to me. Those loose slim gals that swing their feet down the airport side of Franklin Street, and I watch them in the not quite innocent way I'm looking at them this evening. Thinking about the plans I put on hold while the town got smaller and the days unrolled. Now there ain't but 2 stories told, and this one's about leaving. I remember Katie, then Rosalie. I was pressing my luck when I tried for 3. Some shrink from a shameful deed, and me, I'd do it gladly. If I hand you a line, girl, you know it's true. I'll give you a couple minutes, yours to choose. One story from a total of 2 has got a good chance to end badly. So fare thee well, Carolina gals, I'm going where you can't find me. There'll be trouble in the days to come, and a lot more fools behind me. I was just a lad about yay tall, sniffing that glue in the Northgate Mall. Bound with anchormen say you all, kindness is a show for strangers. All them be schoolboys and old hippie men, sweating in the sun to no clear end. I made a medium to poor boyfriend and a pretty good house painter. So fare thee well, Carolina gals, I'm going where you can't find me. There'll be trouble in the days to come, and a lot more fools behind me. Heart couldn't be hewn like a simple phrase in a well-made tune. A stack of wheels sound good on the moon. You don't need a cane chair and a hound dog. He'd sing the blues, I just smiled. I was such a calm and settled child, thanking the Lord, never dreaming the while he was laying out my downfall. So with my hair in my eyes and my chest out swelled, I stood on her porch and I buzzed the bell, peeking round the blind and knowing full well that her folks was gone to Boston. Now they mean quiet when they say lights out, yeah, but that was love making and it made me shout. Daddy would have come home fast, no doubt, if he knew what the weekend had cost him. So fare thee well, Carolina gals, I'm going where you can't find me. There'll be trouble in the days to come, and a lot more fools behind me. Cruel word escapes my mind. Don't worry, baby, that's just the wine. On second thought, it's not the wine, it's just me talking. We men pour out our problems like we think that they're unique. You cheer when a baby starts to speak. They ought to give him a prize for stopping. Baby, don't you be too surprised if I cash in the farm after mama dies. Get a Cadillac and just ride till the Pacific meets the bumper. Stop looking at me like I've lost a screw, like things had to lead where they led to. With the house I've gone to kudzu, I'd be lucky to get a clunker. By luck I landed in the upper south. By God, I gotta make my own way out. I should have read the signs by now. I should have heard the locusts buzzing. Oh, Tommy Thompson's dead and gone, and I've been feeling not so strong. Chapel Hill never did me wrong. It was 5 minutes or so. So fare thee well, Carolina gals, I'm going where you can't find me. There'll be trouble in the days to come, and a lot more fools behind me. Fare thee well, Carolina gals, I'm going where you can't find me. There'll be trouble in the days to come, and a lot more fools behind me.